Welcome back to Spellbound Pages, the cozy corner of YouTube, where we talk fantasy, witches, morally grey interests, and books that emotionally destroy us for sports. Let me tell you, March was chaotic in the best way. Reads from devastating historical fantasy to chaotic romantasy, dark academia energy, and even a few books that left me staring at my wall, questioning my emotional stability. So if you are looking for fantasy or dark romance recommendations, or even just books that will absolutely ruin your life, but in a fun way, right? Let's break down everything that I read in March. Yes, 6 stars, and I am serious. But be aware, this is not a romantasy. It is historical fantasy with cool politics, famine, war, and also survival. And honestly, I cannot believe this is a debut novel. The writing is quietly devastating in the best way. The characters are morally complex, especially Terran, and I'm sorry, even if this wasn't a romance, I loved him with my full heart. He's so precious to me no matter what he did. And yes, that doesn't justify all he did. He's one of the most tragic and layered characters I ever read. This book is brutal, beautiful, poetic, and definitely the kind of book that leave you emotionally rearranged. It was time to returning to this historical fantasy, but romance this time, world, with pirates. And honestly, it just felt like coming home, because those characters, I am deeply attached to them at this point. Bennett and Jane have my whole heart. That being said, the plot in this one did felt a bit repetitive compared to other books in this series. But despite this, the emotional development between the two main characters still carried the book for me. Also, let's be honest, the fact that we have some of Bennett's spells in this book is just chef kiss. I want more of it, and I know there will be one book with his full puff. Also, can we talk about John and his dog? They are so precious, and they definitely deserve more page time. This was everything. So honestly, this is not my favorite in the series, but I am still fully invested. So I'm gonna keep going and finish this series. First of all, I think there is one thing to be told about this book. Nikolai Lantsov, he just walked into this book and stole every single scene. The charm, the sarcasm, the witty banter, the chaotic confidence. I fell in love with this man right when he appeared. Yes, before we even knew his name. And honestly, I get the hype now. Meanwhile, let's be honest, Mal continued to test my patience. And yes, I have tried to like him or be neutral. I'm not. And yes, the Darkling still stay one of my favorite characters. Despite remaining the terrifying villain is supposed to be, and that you cannot stop following and watching. The stakes does feel bigger in this sequel, and that kept me entertained from page 1 to the end. The ending left me a bit curious, and I have some plot theories, and I cannot wait to see how everything will be wrapped up in the next book. Also, I need more Nikolai. That's just a giver. This is worth the hype, 100%. This book hooked me instantly with deadly trials, political intrigue, and even twists I didn't even see coming. Now, be warned, romance here is more of a subplot, even if it's present. But the tension, oh my god, especially with Rorik. I am also down bad for him, cause like, what do you mean? Oh my god, it absolutely delivered. I was clicking my feet and just having a good time. I also absolutely love how emotionally invested I became about the mythical creatures and even the world itself. I was immersed fully into this story. Though, can we talk about that ending? And this was absolutely criminal, and I need the next book right now. This was an arc for this month, and it is out now as you will see this video. This is a standalone, and this is a fast-paced, bingeable romantasy. There is some hate to lovers energy forced proximity and marriage, and also some elemental magic that was nice to read. I did enjoy the political tension overall, and also a few plot twists that genuinely surprised me. But honestly, the romance here leaned a bit too much into insta attraction, insta lust, insta love, at least for me and my taste. And I also didn't fully connected emotionally with the characters and their love story, so I was more detached. Still, that's a nice palette cleanser and a fun, easy fantasy read, so go for it. Another arc this month, and this is one of the first The Little Mermaid retelling I really enjoyed, because The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite fairy tales since I was a kid, so yeah, with spice. So imagine this, The Little Mermaid but darker, with political intrigue, yes, quite a bit messy to be honest, and mixed with a murder mystery. The story follows a mermaid princess, obviously, that is sent to the human world, so she has to make a prince, a human one, fall in love with her and then also break his heart. And honestly, the world building about the mermaid culture, it was really well done. And can we talk about the banter and the slow burn tension? That just added a lot to the story. It was addictive, clever, and I am so ready for book 2. Please bring it to me. And yes, it is available now, so what are you waiting for? This was my second time read with one of my friends as a buddy read, and I did it in an immersive reading, like all of my books honestly, but this one with the graphic audio, it was everything. It still emotionally destroyed me. I ugly cried like only Sarah J. Maas can do to me, because the scale of the story, all the quotes, alliances, politics, and the war, that's just make this book incredibly epic. And let's be honest, that's one of my favorite books in this series. Like my number one, no matter what everyone says about it. But honestly, as a reread, for me the highlight was the emotional building of the relationship between Nesta and Cassian, because their tension and banter was absolutely everything. I eat it all up. After this is still my number one in this series. I said what I said. This is my number one. And if you've read Arcota, I would love to know what is your favorite book in this series. I know for a lot of people this is Mist and Fury, and for me this is just this one. Second best is the Book of Nesta and Cassian. Like Silver Flame is the number 2 for me. So obviously I needed a cute palette cleanser after this to calm my nervous system, and this was it, right? Obviously this is a reread too, and this book is like a cozy aftermath after all the emotional workouts. I even appreciated it even more on the reread. It's quieter, softer, and focused on the healings for the characters, but also found family and small moments with all of them, and different pulps, which I absolutely adore. And the fact that it's a multiple pulps plant the seeds for the next installments in the books. And if you pay attention enough, you know this is not just a book you will skip, because there is like hints and keys for the next book. But overall, think winter vibes, healing energy, and Veraris comfort. What is not to love? Yes, I was again emotionally destroyed, absolutely. Thank you, Sarah J. Maas. This book is chaos in the best way. The plot here moves at full speed, and you have twists, reveals, and emotional moments that's just stacked on top of each other. And you have barely time to catch your breath. And Bryce continues to be one of the most chaotic, but also relatable character I honestly have read. Also on a note, Rune and Lydia's story absolutely destroyed me. I love them to bits. And yes, of course, that crossover moments, I won't spoil it for you. It just ended up makes me fix my setting at night, thinking about it. This is honestly so good, and I don't get all the hate about this book. I don't get it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Not as much as the first two, but still, it's still an amazing one, at least to me. Of course we continue this series, obviously. It is dark, messy, chaotic, but I gotta admit, it is extremely entertaining. Tyson's story, and I was really expecting a lot from it, start off as really intense. and not quite how I would have liked it to be, if I'm being honest. But as the layers of his character unfold and you push through, the story and even his character becomes much more interesting. I honestly didn't expect the mystery solving elements, especially toward the end, even if I had a lot of theories and questions through the books, and I was seeing that there was something cooking here and that we didn't have all the answers. I was curious, I wanted them obviously, and the revelations didn't disappoint. It genuinely surprised me, most of them at least. Also, I'm gonna be honest, this is still not my favorite book of this series. I still like the first one, The Ritual, more of this standalone-ish series. We'll see for the next installment, but so far The Ritual is my favorite. Yes, I know. I was still a bit reluctant to continue this series in this universe. Even though I enjoy the universe overall, this is the least favorite series. I continue because I'm curious, but not because I enjoy it that much. Though, in all honesty, this one was way more enjoyable than the previous one. Even if still part of it dragged a bit, and I am not so invested in the romance in this series or the main characters. But the highlights and the show was completely stolen by Hayden's chaotic sorcerer and witch family. This was everything, and I needed more of it on the page all the time. That instantly makes every scene they appear way more entertaining and bingeable. I was here for that. And that bonus chapter, the fact that we get to see on the page Mori, which is one of my favorite characters in this universe, it was just everything to me. I was kicking my feet and smiling like a fangirl. Overall, it is still a cozy read and good palate cleanser, and feels like coming home, returning to this universe in general. This is my last arc for this month, and I think I don't have any arc next month. This one was a very good surprise, and it put me in a tiny slump just after. That's how it was good. How are you telling me this is a debut novel? I cannot believe it. It absolutely surprised me. The world building is rich without being overwhelming. The magic system is absolutely clever, and the banter between Ruin and Dom was absolutely perfect. I needed more of it, but I was glad the romance for Romantasy was really balanced, with the plot, the action, the found family, and the world building. This is elite slow burn with a hate to lovers more than enemies to lovers. This is more hate to lovers here, but it is more than enjoyable no matter what. And you add on top of that political intrigue, secrets, and found family vibes, which I adore. I was 100% hooked. And can we talk again about that ending? Because that was brutal. I need book 2 now. And sadly, I read this book when I was in the mini slump after Realms of Ruin. This book still feels like running into home and familiar faces. Except this time there is a god or demon who just might kidnap you for a spell. Totally normal in that universe. And this standalone series. And one thing I really enjoy in this series is that there is one bigger world and lore that keep expanding with each installment. Even if the romance follow a familiar structure, that you can see the patterns coming up each and every time. And honestly, Murmur ended up being more layered and interesting than I was expecting. It is a little tragic, but also weirdly bookish, and why this is not my favorite book in the series. It was really fun to return to this world with the chaotic demons and see glimpses of the found family who we've loved so much of the Fives. That being said, I think also because of my tiny slump, I was not in the mood to read that as much as I wanted to, and this is not as much the fault of the book and than my mental state, because I was still lost in mind in Realms of Ruin. So there is that. Overall, honestly, March was such a strong reading month. And so far, 2026 is one of the best years for the books I've read. So here's to hope I have as much 5-star reads and even 6 stars that I had this month, right? I want good reads overall, so yes please. And I have found some incredible fantasy worlds, obviously a few new fictional book boyfriends, and at least 3 books that emotionally attacked me, obviously. Naturally, my April to be read and hopefuls is already looking a little dangerous. Let's go for it. I've seen it everywhere, it is time I pick it up too. Because this one sounds wild. It is a dystopian romantasy, and I think it will be my first dystopian, so bring it on. I'm here for it. It is set in a surveillance state where a mercenary accidentally fails to assassinate the president's son and ends up forced to marry him instead. So here we're getting our hopefully true enemies to lovers, political intrigue, please bring it to me, rebellion vibes, and a marriage that will basically be a battlefield. Please bring it, I am so ready. I need to finish my rereads because the book number 6 and 7 is coming, right? This will be my second time reading this book and I know it will destroy me again. And this time, obviously, I'm doing it in immersive reading with the graphic audio and obviously the book too. Immersive reader here. And I am honestly excited. As we know, the story focuses on Nesta Ling's journey right after the war, and that is mixed also with training, which is good because I need motivation to do my workout. So I know it will be. There is also political tensions, the more than expected and exciting tension between her and Cassian, and the spice. Yes. So if you love character growth arc fantasy, honestly, this one, it is a great example of that. And it's an amazing one, at least I think so. Yes, we are continuing this series. Absolutely. So this is the next book in the Lord's standalone series, which means dark romance, chaotic relationships, morally black or grey questionable characters, and like usual, a lot of drama. This one seems to focus on a step sibling with enemies to lovers dynamic, or maybe hate to lovers, we shall see, and I'm honestly here for it. That sounds extremely messy in the best way. In the way dark romance readers do enjoy, right? I am mostly curious to see how this story will unfold because I know this story is one of the darkest I have read so far. So let's go. I am so thrilled to return to a book written by Alice Cova. She is one of my favorite authors, so I am so excited. This one sounds like a classical fantasy comfort read, and I know it will be the perfect palate cleanser. The premise is that in a world where dragons have returned, some humans are dragon cursed, and they slowly transformed into the very monsters destroying their world. I am very curious about the mystery around that curse and the dynamic between the main characters, because honestly, as usual, the MMC surely knows way more than he let on. This one, since very long time in my to-be read general one, so it is time. It is giving gothic fantasy with a haunted house energy, and I am all here for it. Because this is a vibe I love, and I didn't encounter, well, since Phantasma. The story focuses on a mysterious house that is in a cursed town, and there is this girl, or FMC, that is tied to its secrets. Plus, there is a broodier who probably knows more than he admits. I have heard this book leans more into the atmospheric and also character-driven, which I absolutely love anyways, so we're good. And that sounds absolutely perfect for a cozy spooky read. I am finishing the series this month. I said it, yes, we are here, we are doing it. Because I have been slowly working through this pirate historical romance. And as you know, I am definitely attached to the crew and the main characters at this point. This one seems to explore what happens when pirates are trying to build something resembling a normal life, which is obviously complicated, especially when some of those people still want revenge. I am very curious to see how Jen and Bennett will handle all of this. And hopefully we will get a different kind of plot this time. And we definitely need a change of scenery that apparently this one will bring. So I'm so ready. And because we're finishing this series, I am also reading this one this month, hopefully. Because, as you know now, I need this puff more than anything, so I am so thrilled for this one. It is actually more of a companion story, and it is told from Bennett's perspective. And I do love to see some of the past events that we encountered into Sneaky-Lass, the first book, from another character's perspective. It is also diving deeper into the relationship with Dixon, Bennett's have, pirate romance, plus character MMC point of view. That's honestly such a fun combination, and I cannot wait. This is another buddy ring with a friend, the same one I'm rereading Agota with. And this is a dark mafia romance with an age gap and arranged marriage. So this will be a good time, definitely. And it does sound a bit dramatic. The story follows our FMC forced into a marriage with a powerful mafia heir. And he clearly has his own agenda. I'm definitely expecting Marley Grey to Marley Black characters, power games, and also a lot of tension. Yes, I know I am late to the train, but you know what? We're doing it this month. Because I've seen this book since the last 2 years, especially at the end of last year, everywhere. Into the Romantasy community. It was obviously in my priority list for 2026, and here we are. And I'm finally giving in. It follows a thief with secret magic who accidentally opens a portal to a Faerium. Can I be here? No, because, clearly I need to be here, right? We all need to be here, I think. And she hands them down to a dangerous Fae warrior. This sounds like a really good time to me. I wouldn't be upset. So we're probably getting either enemies to lovers or hate to lovers. And I am all here for it. And surely a reluctant magical partnership. Plus, Fae court politics. Yeah, I know, it's the intruder, but here we are. And it's been a while I didn't have a cowboy romance, so there we go. This one would definitely be a palette cleanser for all the fantasy chaos and dark romances. It is a small town cowboy romance about a woman returning home after an accident and reconnecting with her brother's best friend. I have heard this series is really cozy, mostly character driven, and also perfect if you want something sweet and still bingeable between heavier reads. That sounds perfect to me. So yes, that's my hopefuls for April. If you have read any of these, or if one of them just made up to you to be read, please let me know in the comments. I would love to read it from you. Because I do enjoy and abolish bad bookish or the best one decisions. And if you have a April to be read you are so excited about, please share it too, so maybe I can add some of those to my endless to be read. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might enjoy it. I see you soon for more Spellbound Magic.